You start get involved in the LGBTQ community in the 80s, correct? So I'm sure you've seen a lot of changes, a lot of
oh my God.
So can you kind of share what's the difference between now and then, like maybe 80s,
Well,
90s?
I don't know if your listeners are actually going to appreciate that, because I'm divided right down the middle with that. In some ways, I think it's amazing changes for the better, and then some changes are just suck. Some changes are horrible,
right.
And I hate to say it, but I blame and credit social media for both, because in one way, I think that the community has come way out of hiding, which is great.
Yeah.
And that they're blessed that now they have this huge community. They're not alone anymore. Right. They're not in shame anymore. They're not living in this horrific, dark place of shame and suicidal feelings and alcoholism and all kinds of terrible, destructive behaviors that trans people were, when they thought that they were alone, that's what they centered toward.
Right.
So they've been freed. Yay. And all of these terrible habits are falling off, and now they're making friends and they're having events. Because I know, Shelby, you have a lot of events. I know that you've had a lot of gatherings and stuff at the beach and clothing swaps and stuff.
Yes.
And so Shelby here gives people somewhere to go that isn't a bar.
Yeah, outside
and that's important, because sometimes some of us are in recovery and don't want to. We want to socialize, but we don't want to go to a bar.
Exactly.
We don't want to hear where you have to scream at each other.
Totally.
And so to be outside at the beach or go to Dawn's for a clothing swap or something like that is
Super
wonderful.
Bowl parties.
She's been actually really important in that part of the community. So in that way, I think it's really helpful that social media has brought everybody out. And let's get rid of all that shame, and let's put on our fanciest dress and go out and go dancing. And now people aren't afraid to go to regular restaurants. And now people aren't afraid to go shoe shopping.
I was just telling Michelle that she just came out starting transition 2 years ago only.
That's all?
Yeah, that's all. See, that's all.
Oh my God.
So I realized the newer generation girls, they are coming out fast, and then they are totally know what to do.
Yeah.
Like myself, you seen 10 years ago, I have no clue.
That's because there was no information out there.
And I would have been in the same place. I've had a few people that I've seen come out, and even in the industry that I was in nonprofit and in ministry, where some key people came out, and that just showed me that I could do it. And so back in the 80s, you didn't have that. There was no one that had come out, and everybody was still in hiding and fearful. And that's how I think it's funny that people say, oh, it's so trendy now. Everybody is becoming transgender. No, we're just talking about it now because we haven't been able to before.
I want to slap people when they say that. That drives me nuts. Oh, it's so in to be trans. No, it's not. That's bravery 101 that you're seeing. It's not trends or following anything. It's bravery.
I talk a lot on social media about it's not a choice.
It isn't.
If I had a choice, I would have not chosen this. I would still be with my family. I would have a relationship with my kids. And I would be doing what I would normally be doing. But I'm very happy with this now because it's who I am. But it's a costful, painful road.
I know. And I guess from a service provider's point of view, I hear, and I don't mean to diminish anything that you're saying. I have to be really careful not to do that. But I hear that story every day.
Yes, exactly.
Of how hard they fought.
Totally.
And what they had to sacrifice, what they had to give up.
Cost is great.
Some people are really lucky. And, do you remember TS Roadmap?
The website?
The one website
yes.
that was like the first thing.
Yes, I do.
That Andrea James and Calpurnia Adams created this wonderful website called TS Roadmap. And I remember looking at that. I think when it first, I can't tell you the date that it launched, but it was around the time, and there was almost no information on it. But
the original stuff.
But the fact that there was a voice coming through a computer screen for someone to follow and to read. And I thought, okay, this is going to help me even as a service provider, because sensitivity and just knowing having a little bit more information to work with when a client comes and knowing how to talk to them. And now they're everywhere. Those websites come and go. They're up and down every week. It's a different one, and then they fold. But your original question about how the community has changed, I think that half of it has been a really great, positive, empowering change, and the other half isn't so nice. And I think that narcissism and exhibitionism and vanity, and I've seen that a lot because I'm a makeup artist, and I'm kind of like, well, it's not really what I meant when I started. It wasn't about, I wanted to give people confidence, not egomania. I wanted to make them feel good about themselves to where they could go out and enjoy their life. I didn't want to turn them into a duck lift selfie addict.
So what kind of clientele do you have right now? Like, because I kind of noticed probably like 10, 15 years ago, or club goers, right? Because like that at that time that we only still have only clubbing to go in our little community. So what about now? Like if people come to you, ask for your service, what are they planning to do?
I do about half and half. I do cross-dressers and I do trans women. Almost all of them are in their 40s. I have a very small percentage that are under 40. Most of them are older. Even I have one that's 82 or something.
Wow.
Who just transitioned in her 80s.
Oh my gosh, good for her.
I know. It was just a wonderful story. Actually, was because her wife died.
Oh.
That's what opened the
And
door.
it's so sad, but at the same time, she says, I'm just glad that I was able to come out before I died.
Oh my God.
I said, don't talk like that. And she goes, honey, I'm 82.
Wow.
And it could happen to me anytime. And I said, I'm so sorry about your wife. And she says, I am too. God bless her heart. She left me some of the best dresses I've ever seen. I said, oh my God. She goes, now I don't have to worry about going out and looking for a wardrobe. And I said, I'm glad that you could turn this into a positive thing. But my clientele has changed so drastically since I first started because, you met us. We were all these club tramps.
Yes.
And, it was Tiffany Amber Rhodes and Luann, and all of us would get together, and everybody had these hot pink short skirts and fishnet stockings and the big platform boots. Now almost that's not
a thing.
Not at all. Yeah. It's older, sophisticated, usually highly educated trans women. I do get some youngsters every now and then, not very often, because I think that they started so young. When they started so much younger, the older generation, there's like a 25 or 30 year gap to where, I don't mean in their age, I mean when it was okay to come out.
Right.
So the kids that are out today, it's been okay to come out for the last 10 years or something, but before that.
And then you grew up with makeup as a normal part of your life.
Right.
Like I intentionally stayed away. I did a few times where I would just try to practice or whatever, but I was trying to be a man. And so I didn't let myself. And so when I transitioned to 52, I have a steep learning curve. So like all these brands and choices and what is my skin color and what's an undertone and so much.
I know I hear that so much, and I don't want to talk about future plans, but let's say that I'm working very hard on getting something really special going that's going to help with that teaching. And because that is it, that is 90% of it. Any client, no matter if they are white or black or young or old or from wherever or whatever culture background they're from, it always have the same questions. How do I know what my skin type is? How do I find out? Right. With that, I don't want to go on YouTube and watch 700 videos that are going to tell me completely conflicting information.
Totally.
One video tells you one thing, and the very next video tells you the complete opposite. Exactly. And I'm like, well, there actually are tricks that you can do. Take a shower, wait a couple of hours, and then get a piece of paper and stick it on your face. Does it stick? Most likely your oily skin. Does it leave a mark? You can tell if your skin is oily or dry. Okay. Obviously, by a couple hours after your shower, if you feel your nose here and it feels oily, you got oily skin. And I know that it sounds really obvious, but it's actually not, because sometimes we're oily in some places and dry in others. I have what's called combination skin. Most people do. Right. So things like that. And the most idiotic, what they think is an idiotic question actually isn't idiotic to me, because it's totally common sense. How are you supposed to know what mascara? How are you supposed to know what foundation? You can't ask, you can't look commercially, because every foundation company tells you theirs is the best. Yeah, every mascara tells you that theirs is the best. It's a load of BS. Yes. I have a basket at home that has about 100 different types of mascara in it, and I call it the mascara graveyard.
Exactly.
Because it's an addiction. I literally will go out to the store every time I see a commercial for a new mascara. I'm in the car shooting flames out of my butt to get there in time, and I buy it and I put it on, and it's awful, and it goes in the mascara cemetery.
And waterproof is a lie. I haven't found anyone that is actually waterproof.
They don't mean you can go swimming in the
Right, but
ocean for a month and then
Just
rub
lasting throughout the day.
Yeah, well,
sweating.
there's a trick to putting it on. There's a way that you're supposed to put it on. But to me, waterproof mascara is awful because it's too hard to get off.
Yes.
And it's really hard on your lashes, and your lashes will actually break off.
Yikes.
And it's not good for your lashes. It comes with conditioning. It has bullshit. No, it doesn't. I know, Rick. I can read the damn ingredients. And if it does, it's got such trace amounts of it. It's trying to convince you that it's not going to rip your lashes out when you put it on. It's not true.
Wow.
See,
this is why we need you.
There's so many millions of little tricks, and I thought, I charge people per lesson, and I think we've just gone past this area where we can keep doing that. I don't think that's not a business model that's going to last very long. Everything is online now.
Yes.
Zoom happened.
Totally.
Yes.
So
everybody
it's all going on Zoom now.
So, do you help your client face off? Like, meaning after the night's over, do they come to you and take everything off?
Hell no. No, they used to, but I don't want people coming to my house at 3:00 in the morning drunk.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you remember? Well,
So you
after
like give them
Oxford,
like,
we used to bring people
for
over.
example, do you give them like a wipe or some sort and stuff? Tell them what to do.
Well, first of all, before anybody even sits in my chair, I ask them where they're going and what they're doing. Okay. And I request them to be honest with me, because if you're going to be engaging in a little kissing and stuff, you're going to be fooling around. You got a date with a man or something. You better tell me, because that means you're going to have a different set of products. You're going to have, the smudge kiss-proof lipstick, smudge-proof makeup in case he roughs you up a little bit. You got to be able to still look good when you get up in the morning. Right. Are you just going to go out dancing? Are you wearing a corset and breast forms? Because if you do, you're going to sweat more. You need these set of products now. But yes, I used to have people come to my house after the club, and I would take their makeup off, because we were all at the bar too and drunk. Yeah. So here comes Mayor Phil with a girl on each arm. I'm like, oh, they need their makeup off. Oh, they do, huh? And I'm in my jammies, half drunk. Oh my God. But no, I bring them. I give away little things of coconut oil. That's how I remove all my makeups. Is with coconut oil. It'll even remove adhesive, so it's really, really good on the skin.
Okay, so if anybody listening or watching this show, if they want to inquire your business, where can they find you?
Yeah.
Well, I actually have two websites. One is called tgtransitions.com. The other one is called tstransitions.com. You can probably guess which one was launched first. TS Transitions was first. That's when it was okay to say that.
Yeah.
And now it's not. So now it's TG. I forgot my own freaking website, tgtransitions.com.
Awesome.
Okay.
Very good.